I would describe it as being unbelievable, and you have to come and see it.
Hasn't been polished, I think, perhaps is the best way to describe it. It's still quite gritty and rough.
It has got a lot of attractions. It's got a bit of nature, it's got a bit of I love industrial architecture, it's got lots of that. Lots of creative people.
It's quite close to Newcastle, but it's sort of a little village area all of its own. We've got our own little community around here, and it's very arty because there's lots of art galleries and art workshops, so it's quite a nice environment and community we've got down here.
It's an unusual community because it's a community of interest rather than a community of place in the traditional sense. So it's not a community of residents in the sense of people who live and eat and sleep in an area.
The Ouseburn's always been full of creative people, and it's a place that I wanted to be because I'm a creative person. It's a place that I wanted to end up as well. Because of the other creative people around you, it just makes for a much better atmosphere and community if there are other people like you around about you, I think.
I'm Anna Wilkinson and I'm Director of Northern Print. Being sort of part of a cultural quarter, as we describe Ouseburn as being, is really important to us. It's about being part of that mix.
There are all kinds of artists in Ouseburn. There's painters, printers, furniture makers, jewellers, people who make handbags, hats, candlesticks, anything you want really, woodworkers, wood turners, all sorts of things. You name it, there's probably one down here, I reckon.
I think there's loads of things for families and children. There's obviously the stables, there's the farm, the 7 stories. And I think also I just find the children just love looking at the bridges, or I think it's just quite an exciting place to be as a child, and I think just exploring that is really good.
I'm Susan and I'm from Stepney Bank Stables and I'm the manager here. It's an inner city community horse project, and not a lot of people know what that is because it's the only one of its kind in the country. We work with disadvantaged young people and we give them access to horses, and it's all around what that can actually do for them. So it's about vocational training, personal development, social development, employment skills are really important, and all the calmness that comes from the therapeutic nature of working around horses. But we're also a commercial riding school, which not a lot of people know, and anybody that comes here is doing us a favour because that helps to fund the charitable work that we do.
My name's Erin and I'm receptionist at 7 Stories. It's a museum about children's books. It's not a children's museum. We have 2 gallery exhibition areas all about our children's books, British children's books. We've got a big room downstairs of arts and craft activities, so there's lots of craft activities you can do. We have a couple of story times every day, and there's a big room of fancy dress upstairs as well, so it's a real day out.
We're a small farm with lots of different animals. We've got sheep and pigs and goats and chickens, and we're right in the middle of the city. So it's a lovely green space, just a mile from Newcastle city centre with farm animals. We're open for school groups, for any visitor that wants to come. We're open 6 days a week. We're closed on Fridays, but every other day we're open from 9:30 to 4:30.
There's a very good night out in the Ouseburn Valley. There's, some really, really good pubs that have perhaps been untouched so far. They're quite traditional, spit and sawdust kind of pubs that sell proper beer, and they're all within stumbling distance of each other as well, I'd say.
One of the themes of the Ouseburn bars is that people go there to enjoy each other's company and to chat and have conversations, and not always rushing around in a mad rush to drink more.
If you were to go to the Cumberland, for instance, like a couple of nights a week, you'd find ukulele musicians, or you'd find folk musicians just kind of practicing in the back bar. The Cluny is quite a sort of like hip little hub of kind of indie kids and rockabillys, and people are really into music and kind of know what music is sort of happening out there. I think they book the best music nights probably in Newcastle. The Star and Shadow has got just a bit of everything. It's run on people's passion and energy. All of the, all the beers are local, they're all organic. They won't kind of buy in. Even the crisps have to be from kind of small, localish companies. So, they really sort of think about what they do and the kind of ethics of it. And I think that runs right through the Ouseburn.
One of the main features of the valley is that it is known for its outdoor activities. The Ouseburn Festival takes place at the end of July every year, and that usually involves a lot of young people, and many of the local facilities and venues open their doors. And the Ouseburn Festival will usually have some music and entertainment, but mainly what it does is it brings people together. The communities from nearby suburbs and all over the city all come together and just spend some time in the open air enjoying being here. And I think that's what the Ouseburn Festival really is good at celebrating.
Some of the interesting things in the Ouseburn you could do as far as the galleries and studios are concerned is the major one is Ouseburn Open Studios, which is on the last weekend in November, which is when 7 venues open up the doors. Quite often they are places that you can't ever get in normally, but they open their doors for one weekend of the year. It's a great weekend, and normally thousands of people come down to the Ouseburn for that weekend. It's just before Christmas as well, so it's a chance to buy like really unique Christmas presents too, which is quite popular.
It's an oasis within the area of ideas and innovation, that it's a nursery for new ideas and getting things off the ground. And I think it's a beacon of hope in some ways, of the way that people can work together and can get things done.
I'd hate to see the Ouseburn redeveloped. I really fear developers coming in and deciding that they're going to kind of build another bunch of offices or student flats or whatever else. Not because I don't think that, I don't know whether those things are needed or not. I just don't want to see the Ouseburn change from the kind of mix it has got at the moment.
I think we're very lucky to have an area which isn't big, but it's big enough for people to enjoy being here, and that isn't just an artificial park, but is a bit of the natural environment with a lot of interest, a lot of heritage, and certainly a lot to keep people here.
There's so much and something for everyone, and I think that's what's kind of special about it, really.
Come and visit, because it's a totally unique area. It's a city centre location, and there's no excuse for not coming along and getting involved.